Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 462, season 19. Today's date is August 5th, 2025, and welcome to the show. On today's program, I'm going to talk about, something unusual. Something I did yesterday. I visited the new Jack in the Box restaurant that was located in Countryside, Illinois. It's been open for about 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks, and I went there, and I will tell you my experience and my review of the new restaurant. It's good to have them back in the Chicagoland area. Also, I'll read off a 1963 menu from the Shangri-La Restaurant that was located in the Chicago Loop, and it was a Chinese restaurant, so I will do that. This will be interesting. Before I get started, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Fleischmann's Margarine. I remember this. And here's a commercial from 1976. So let's sit back and relax. Let's go back to the mid-1970s for Fleischmann's Margarine. Thank you.
Hi, you know me, Mr. Cholesterol. Nice of you to have me for dinner. Serving any of my favorites, bacon and eggs, cream sauce, butter. Hey, that's Fleischmann's Margarine. The only leading margarine made from 100% corn oil. It's got no cholesterol, zero, and it's high on polyunsaturates. It even tastes good.
Fleischmann's Margarine, great for low cholesterol modified fat diets. 100% corn oil,
0% cholesterol.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Fleischmann's Margarine. Let's see. Let me give you a history of that. That was founded by a man named Charles Louis Fleischmann, spelled with 2 N's at the end. He invented Fleischmann's yeast. I don't know if it's still around, probably. And the company was founded by Charles Louis Fleischmann, his brother Maximilian, and James Gaff in 1868. That's when the company was founded in Riverside, in Cincinnati. And then I remember the commercials for Fleischmann way back in the 70s. And it was just an alternative, to other margarine, brands of margarine. For example, Parquet, Imperial, Blue Bonnet, Promise. Remember those? Can't think of another one off the top of my head. My mother she uses that, for baking. She says it's very good. It's very good, and it does taste good. Yeah. That's right. It's one of the true flavors, so try to avoid butter or watch your cholesterol. That's fine. Okay. So, at the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about my review of the new Jack in the Box restaurant that's located in the countryside of Illinois. And I visited there and I had lunch. Also, I'll read off a menu from the 1963 it's from Shangri-La Restaurant. That was located at 222 North State Street in Chicago. Before I get started, I'll mention a couple of things. This one I forgot about my health. I didn't mention that in the previous podcast. I went to my regular doctor last Wednesday. Did some blood work. Everything went fine. Cholesterol's good. I have a feeling I probably talked about this before, but I'll do it again. My cholesterol's fine. Blood pressure's good. The calcium is leveled off. I don't need the Zometa and all that. And my glucose is a little high. It's borderline. So I have to be careful. It's due to the chemo. I'm still doing chemo. Next one is August 11th. And then I will see my urologist August 14th for another reason. So I've been watching my weight. I've lost a few pounds. So I'll keep you posted on that. Another thing, when I mentioned this yesterday, when I posted this about me visiting Jack in the Box, I've had a lot of comments. Lots of comments. Mostly positive, some negative. Some crazy ones like, oh, I'm not going to Jack in the Box because Arby's was there and it's closed. Well, sorry, I can't do that. I can't do anything. Others said, no, it goes back to the 70s because the reason, well, I'll get to that in a moment. They closed in Illinois a long time ago because of, there was like poisoning, food poisoning like that. And they still talk about this day. And mostly it's some men from older than me and still remember that. And they like to point out, all right, fine. It happened. I understand. But we're talking about today. Okay? We're talking about, just forget about it. If you don't want to go there, don't go there. If you do want to go there, please do. That's your choice. If you don't like my choice, that's too bad. It's the way it is. All right, so now let's get started. About Jack in the Box restaurant. I'm going to talk about my memories of that as well in the beginning. So here we go. So it's a fast food chain. It was founded on February 21st, 1951 by a man named Robert O. Peterson and in San Diego. And it's still headquartered there. I ate there one time when I visited San Diego. He was a businessman and a philanthropist, and he popularized the drive-through. He sort of he was credited for the first to pair a drive-through window with an intercom system. So I believe he started all that, and then it's still around. Not just Jack in the Box, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all the fast food places like that. And then he expanded, and then all the way to California, and I think they developed a clown, with the Jack in the Box clown like that. So when you go to a Jack in the Box drive-thru, you don't see a clown. No, you don't. You did in the 70s. He was there, and you talk to a clown, but it's really a guy or a person, at the at the cashier. So they expanded all over the country pretty much, and then they came to Chicago. They came, I don't know, late 60s, I think late 60s, early 70s. My earliest memory of Jack in the Box, I never went to a Jack in the Box in the 70s. Never. They weren't any around where I used to live. I lived in South Shore. In the 60s, no Jack in the Box. When I moved to Roseland in 1969, in New York City, there was a Jack in the Box in the neighborhood. It was on West 103rd Street in Halstead. It was there. But I used to pass by. I took the bus with my family. We never drove. And we saw the clown, and we saw the restaurant, and that was the only one there. And when we moved to Ashburn, I think the nearest one was, I'm trying to think, in Oak Lawn. At 103rd and Cicero, which right now is Rosie's Heroes. But the building's still there. And there was one at 62nd and Western. I can't think of another place around there on the south side. Not really. Someone claims there was one in Calumet City. Probably. I've never been there. So I never went to a Jack in the Box. No, I never went there. So I found a menu from the 1970s. It's real short. Okay. So they had Jumbo Jack with cheese, Bonus Jack. I think it's probably an extra patty, I would imagine. A hamburger, hamburger with cheese. Moby Jack. Now that is the fish sandwich. Next is tacos. Oh, I'll get to that in a second with those tacos. They're infamous. Onion rings, hot apple turnover, French fries. You either had a regular French fry or super scoop. You had a bigger one. Drinks, they had Coca-Cola, root beer, orange, chocolate shakes, or I think so. Yeah, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, milk, and coffee. Okay. That was fun. Now, they closed about late 70s or 80s, and they left the market. They left the market in Chicago because there was poisoning or something. I don't know the whole story. So it was disappointing to me. They made a comeback now, 50 years later. So that's kind of cool, almost 50 years like that. So it was announced last year that Jack in the Box will re-enter the Chicago market. And when the news broke out, people went nuts. They really did. They went crazy. Oh my God. Like we're talking, I can't wait, and then there were people who live in California, Arizona, out west. They're like, meh, big deal. Yeah. Some liked it over there, some don't. It depends. But it was exciting. Then they announced the locations of that down the road. Then they announced that we were opening one in Countryside, Illinois, which is the one I went. I will talk about that in a moment. They were going to open one in Hickory Hills. That's what I heard, but nothing happened yet. They were going to open one at 78th Street and Cicero Avenue in Chicago near Fort City. That's going to open in September. And I think people got excited. Ooh. They opened one in Countryside. They opened one in Plainfield, Illinois. They're going to open one, I think, Naperville, Carroll Stream, Wheaton, Lake in the Hills, New Lenox, and a couple in the city. They're going to open, in I think one in the Gold Coast. So it would be great to open around State Street. Yeah, I think they will eventually. So slowly but surely, though, they're going to reopen. I don't know if they're returning in other Midwestern states like Indiana, Ohio. I don't know. No clue. Like that. So now I'm going to talk about what about when I went yesterday. Yesterday morning, I decided, why don't I go to Jack in the Box? To try it out. I meant to go last week, but it was raining on a Friday, and the streets were closed and it's flooded. I just, I drove and I went back home. But I went yesterday. I went very early. I went about 10:30 in the morning. You couldn't park in the Countryside location. You couldn't park there. They blocked off the parking lot. I don't know why. The drive-through was. You could go to drive-thru, but the funny thing is you had to go to a street like 56th Street. This is at LaGrange Road, and you had to turn to an alley, and they had the cones lined up. So you had to wait to go to the drive-thru. But, that was excruciating because it took forever to cook the meal. So, I couldn't find parking, so I went across the street to Popeyes. It was empty, and I just walked across the street very carefully. Then I arrived at the restaurant, waited in line. I waited 45 minutes altogether. Ugh. So I waited in line about half an hour, 20 minutes. They only let 2 people at a time. I don't know why. There were security guards. There were about 5 security guards. That was weird. They had security guards outside. And so they let me in, and I ordered for the first time, and, the people that worked there were so nervous. They were, it's something new and overwhelming. I can understand that. So I gave my order. I ordered a double jack, no cheese, no tomato, no pickle. I don't like that. I don't like those at all. Curly fries. And a drink. That was the combo. If you ask me if I had a taco, I will get to that in a second. So I waited about 20 minutes for my order. They were so big. I think they were understaffed, I believe. That's what I heard. But I was very patient. Believe it or not, the customers were very patient. Except for one lady who was outside the drive-thru. She was yelling. I don't know what was going on. I asked her when the security guard was done with her. He came inside and asked, well, what's the matter with her? And she goes, it's nothing. It's taken care of. I saw her yelling. She was like, like that. It was hilarious. Anyway, so I got my order. I decided not to dine in because I parked across the street. I was afraid maybe I'll get towed or, I was just worried. So I just, I opened the bag, placed everything on the table, took my photo of my order. I did that. But there's something I did not tell people yesterday. I went over there and I ordered a taco because that's what the rave is all about. Their tacos are awesome. I've never eaten a taco at Jack in the Box, not Taco Bell, Jack in the Box. I didn't wait very long. I waited about 5 minutes. That was great, Luckily, because there was a man in front of me, he ordered some, so he did that. No, you know what he did? I forgot. He ordered 4 tacos for his family, and he asked me, "You ordering a taco?" Yeah, I just want one taco. He gave me his, and he paid, and then he didn't. He said, "Well, let me pay you for this." He goes, "No, forget it. Take it." I was very generous of him. He was a family man, very nice, and I took the taco. Yeah. So here's the funny thing. I couldn't eat inside because I was worried about my car. So I took my order, went across the street, walked to Popeyes, and got in the car, and then trying to find a place where to eat outside. There weren't that many. Luckily, I found Chipotle. Chipotle had outdoor dining, so I went over there, parked the car, went over there, ate my burger, my fries, and the taco. And here's my review of the taco. Oh, it was so good. It was good. The taco sauce was a little spicy, a little bit. My stomach can't handle that, but it was good. It was so good. So I had my taco. And then I came home, posted the photos, blah, blah, blah. I didn't mention the taco because it's a surprise, mention it on the podcast. So I will post, when I post the podcast, I will mention I will eat the taco. Okay, that's good. All right. So, and then the menu, what they have now, it's changed a little bit. In the 70s, they had frings or something. That's like a combination of onion rings and French fries. I think Burger King does that, but this is what the menu they have today. It's Jack Pack with chicken sandwich. They had breakfast Jack, jumbo Jack, 2 tacos. Okay. Double vision meal deal, sourdough grilled cheese, junior cheeseburger, junior chicken sandwich, have a curly fries, double jack combo, jumbo jack combo, classic smash jack combo. They had that. Classic buttery smash combo, spicy chicken combo, club sandwich combo, 8-piece chicken nuggets. I don't know how they were. This is part of the menu. They gave me the menu, but I left it behind. I forgot. I should have brought it with me, home with me. Dessert, they had an Oreo cookie milkshake. Ooh, that sounds good. I would love that. So you get the idea of that. So will I go again? Yes, I will go again, but I'm going to wait till it's simmered down. It's too overwhelming because they should have opened. Well, in my opinion, they should have opened the restaurants all simultaneously, all of them. But they chose like certain dates, and then the first one in Countryside opened, and it just went nuts. Okay, so yes, I will go again. When more locations are open, everything will even out. It'll calm down. Just be patient. Also got a couple of comments where people goes, "Why are you talking about this?" Because it was crap in the 70s and still crap. Yeah, fine, whatever. That to each his own. So anyway, that's it. So right now I'm going to play a commercial from the 1970s. It's Jack in the Box. I remember this commercial very well. I used to watch this when I was in Roseland on my black and white TV. And its commercial is a fire truck racing down the street, and because they were hungry. I mean, the firemen were hungry, and they went to the drive-thru, and they're talking to the clown at the Jack in the Box. And I remember this commercial very well. It's a classic. There's one last thing. If you remember, there was a spokesperson. He was a little African-American boy. His name was Rodney Allen Rippey. And he did the Jack in the Box commercials in the 70s. And, I completely forgot about him. He's still alive, as far as I know, but he's still known for that. And I remember those commercials as well. And one last memory. You know what? I did go to a Jack in the Box. I apologize. I did go to one. My family and I went to the Avon Theater. It was located at Fullerton and Kimball. They show Greek films, and we went in the afternoon. They showed that on Sunday afternoon. And across the street was Jack in the Box. And I said to my mom, can we go there to eat? She goes, yeah. We went there, and then they had, we ate there. We had hamburgers, and we got some glasses from Jack in the Box. We took some home, drinking glasses. I don't think we have them anymore. And then I remember the Jack steak they had, the Jack steak sandwich. So, yeah, I apologize. I did go to one. Okay. I did go. Okay. So here's a commercial from 1972 for Jack in the Box with the fire truck. When I come back, I will read a 1963 menu from the Shangri-La Restaurant. So sit back and relax. Let's go back to the 70s for Jack in the Box. Thank you.
Burgers, heavy on the secret sauce, 3 Jack Colas, 2 orders of onion rings. And a taco.
Jack in the Box drive-through restaurants. Good food for people who just can't wait to eat.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Jack in the Box. So that's it for that. Now we're going to talk about Shangri-La Restaurant. I'll give you a history of this. Okay, here we go. It was located at 222 North State Street. Not room 222, not the TV show. So it was first called the Rumba Casino, and that opened in 1941. And then, and it was, before that, it was a nightclub called the Three Deuces. That was the nightclub, and it was there since the 1920s. And then it was destroyed in a fire. And let's see. So the Three Deuces came from the address, 222. That's how they got it. Then the Rumba Casino closed in 1944, and then it opened the Shangri-La Restaurant, and it's a Polynesian Far Eastern themed restaurant. The menu is mainly Chinese. So the restaurant was in business for about 20 years, less than 20 years, 22 years to be exact. And it was closed in 1968, and then it was remodeled to Shangri-La Theater. And what was famous about that is it showed pornographic movies. I don't know in the beginning if it did. Probably not, but then they switched. I don't know who. The guy who owned it probably said, yeah, why don't we do that? We'll draw a crowd. Boy, did it ever. And then it opened, it was all through the 70s, and it opened at least till 1979. And then it closed, and maybe got too seedy. Maybe the city got fed up. And then they demolished in 1981. And they used that for a parking lot for a while. And so the remainder of the building was an office building, retail stores, and a fire station and a parking garage. And they were demolished. And then now it's a hotel called the Renaissance Chicago. I went downtown one time, a long time ago, and I saw the hotel. And I totally forgot that the Shangri-La Restaurant was there. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to read a menu. And I have it from 1963. This will be fun. Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's see, do they have... Okay, let's start with appetizers. They had egg rolls, barbecue pork, fried shrimp, sauté shrimp, sweet and sour, Cantonese squab, spare ribs, yuan mushrooms, rumaki, sauté shrimp with garlic sauce, and Cantonese barbecue chicken. That sounds good. Mm-hmm. Soups, they had Numia chicken soup, vegetable gan, chicken lotus soup, egg drop, wonton, Cantonese ravioli, noodle with chicken gan, and Agana chicken vermicelli soup with shredded vegetables and pork. That sounds delicious. Okay. Cantonese style eggs. They had, let me read this real quick. Manchester scrambled eggs banquet, not bouquet. Water chestnuts, bamboo shoots, mushrooms, barbecue pork, and pea pod garnish. Lone Har Young Don, that's lobster and egg patties. Gai Young Don, chicken and egg patties. Har Young Don, shrimp and egg patties. Chartsi Young Don, barbecue pork and egg patties. So they serve with egg patties. I don't see Mugu Gai Pan. Maybe it's later. A Cantonese fried rice. Kiss me. I apologize. Fried rice with lobster meat, fried rice with roast pork and green onions, fried rice with chicken, fresh shrimp, green onions, and individual Cantonese style fried rice. Okay. They had fresh lobster Cantonese style, Shangri-La pressed duck. That's like selected young duckling with added delicate oriental wines, and it's steamed, and it's sounds very good. Sounds delicious. Okay. I'll get the desserts in a minute. Right now I'm going to do the entrees. Here we go. A la carte, of course. I'm not going to describe each one. I'm just going to read them off. So here we go. They had pork tenderloin Taiwan style, beef Mandarin style, Javanese style shrimp, chicken hung su, beef with pea pods, him soon York, chicken pineapple, Cantonese shrimp chow mein, Mandarin duck, beef tenderloin with tomatoes and peppers, Dao Si Piquat, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Piquat, chicken lotus, Shangri-La May pike, sounds like fish, Cantonese chicken chow mein, Tunisian shrimp frites, beef tenderloin with string beans, Shangri-La chicken cubes, beef tenderloin with sprouts, chicken amandine, gay long beef, wonton and chicken, then fresh lobster amandine. Okay, let's see what else they got. Did I miss anything? No. For desserts, they had imported preserved kumquats, mixed preserved fruits and honey, almond cookies, lychee nuts, rum prunes, rum pineapple, cheesecake. Drinks, they had milk or coffee. I'm sure they had wine list or alcoholic beverages they did serve there, I would imagine. So that's good. Yeah. So I didn't go into more detail because it'll take too long. But you get the general idea of what was in it. Yeah, so that sounds good. Okay. So that's it for this show. To recap what I've talked about, I talked about my recent visit to the new Jack in the Box restaurant that was located in Countryside. I think the address is like 58th and LaGrange Road. And I gave my review. And if you be patient, more are opening, so everything will die down and it'll be normal. Also, I read off a 1963 menu from the Shangri-La Restaurant. It was a Chinese restaurant, and it was located at 222 North State Street in Chicago. This podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Amazon Music, Good Pods, Podbean. If you have those apps on your phones or your tablets, please tap on them, tap follow. You receive a notification of the latest episode. All the episodes are listed there. Also be posted on my blog, www.vanchicagoland.blog. If you sign in with your email, you can subscribe. Also be sure on my YouTube channel. And again, people ask me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? Find it on YouTube. Go do a search. Type in Van Chicagoland Stories or my name, Pete Costanis. Click subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. You receive a notification. You can do these on all your devices. All the previous episodes are listed there. Also, if you have CarPlay on your phone, you can listen to me in the car, or you stream it on your TV. If you have Spotify, you could do that, or YouTube. You can have YouTube, and you can listen. You can listen and watch, my podcast. Also, be sure to have my social media accounts: Facebook, Reddit, LinkedIn, X, also Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Okay. So I will do another podcast episode this weekend. Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. And I'll think of something very interesting to talk about. And I'll be very patient. So this is Pete Costanis, your host of Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today's going to be a nice day. Enjoy yourselves. Here's Bye-Bye for me, and here's a little traveling music from this wonderful man, Chicago legend Ray Rayner, with a little traveling music saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.